Mike went out. I'm sorry about that. We trying to uh create a sports dialogue, man. Like I've said this several times before. When I first started doing this, man, I started doing this not because I thought I knew everything or because everything was everything. I just got tired of the common state standard line answer, non it's just not real barbershop talk, shall I say. When you're looking at a lot of these networks, you got some base answers, and kind of everybody's kind of like just ride the wave of those talking points and different things like that. So we want to do this. We want to have some like straight dialogue. We like to talk about stuff. So a lot of stuff we talk about too might not end up on the stat sheet. This is what we look at. I see dead people. I got a sixth sense. I see athletes. Understand these things. And so that's why we started doing this, But like I said, we had the divisional round over the weekend. I was very well. Like I said, we had a game between the Texans and the Ravens. And let me say this too. I'm born and raised Detroit, right on the corner of Webb and Tuxedo. Get this out the way. And like most people around here, and I ain't gonna say all, but most good portion of them, you got a lot of Michigan fans around here. And if you follow Michigan, you should know that we have a out of state rival that we play each year. Last game of the year, I think it's the greatest rivalry in college football. There's Michigan and Michigan State, and the reason why I say it's the greatest rivalry in college football, you got to like a lot of those newcomer, or a lot of people like to talk about the SEC and different things like this. But you gotta like when we went those years when Florida State was out there making noise, Florida was making noise, all great programs. But the thing that make the Michigan Ohio State game, and reason why I say it's the greatest rivalry in college football, is because one of the main reasons is that when they play it and where it's played, whether it be in Ohio or Michigan, it's the last game of the year of the regular season. And that's in November, and it's usually the weather conditions are not great. But this is like I said, this game is played every year faithfully. And we got a out of state rival in Ohio State. So I said all that to say this. Over the weekend, this like I said, the Ravens and the Texans played, and you had two quarterbacks that was, they was judged between who should be number one and not. And the Panthers took my man Bryce Young out of Alabama, and Houston Texas ended up on my man C.J. Stroud. Now I seen him while he was at Ohio State. He was 0-2 against Michigan, but over the weekend or the past few games or so, I started kind of paying attention to Houston because they was making noise, made themselves, and I didn't even realize they was creeping into the playoffs, but they was making a lot of noise, and you kept getting the highlights and information about CJ and what he was doing. Only threw 5 interceptions. This is a rookie now, right? And so I had to start watching him, start paying attention to him. And as I was watching that game, even though he didn't perform that well, and they lost to Baltimore, it was pretty lopsided game. It was the composure and the way he handled himself and different things like that that made me recognize and how he handled the team and his overall persona and everything. And it became like a newfound love for him with me. So that's my thing. I'm a CJ Stroud fan, and ironically, it's so funny too. His top receiver just happened to be Nico Collins, receiver out of Michigan. So they got a nice little thing going on over there. But Lamar and Baltimore and them, they pretty much made it easy. The deep look easy. The defense is running around all over the place, and Lamar just does what he wants to do. At this particular stage of the game, I am getting prepared because I know it's coming. And I can kind of leak this now because I'm pretty much leaning with Baltimore anyway. I think Baltimore, no matter who they play coming out of NFC, I just think Baltimore go win it. So I'm thinking they should win this up and coming week against KC. I'm gonna go on record and say it should be a great game because you can never count Patrick Mahomes out. I definitely don't think that game is gonna be as easy as what it made to look against the Texans. But I think they should survive KC and should see them in the Super Bowl. And if they make it to the Super Bowl, I do predict them to win it all. With that being said, though, like I said, they pretty much just manhandled Baltimore. And behind them going to the Super Bowl and them winning, or if they win the Super Bowl, anything, the the further and further they go, especially if they win the Super Bowl. I'm already on record. I got some comments to make to all my Lamar Jackson haters, the folks that wanted him to change positions, the colleges that didn't want to recruit him at that position. Even once he got drafted in the NFL, the naysayers talking about what he couldn't do. How come he couldn't do this? He can't pass this. He can't throw the out. He can't do this. All he is a running quarterback. I got something for the Lamar Jackson naysayers. Oh, excuse me. So that was pretty easy. Then we had the Packers and 49ers. Now, the Packers just ran through my Cowboys the week before. I mean, literally, my man Jordan Love put on a hell of a show, showed that he can handle himself well under pressure. We can understand kind of why, even though Aaron Rodgers is still productive, but we can kind of see why, Green Bay went ahead and moved on to greener pastures. The young man came in and he handled the pressure with the Cowboys fantastic, and actually played a good game against the 49ers. My man Brock Purdy, reason why he was catching a lot of heat, and I've said this before, one problem with the 49ers, one thing that's great about them, they got weapons all over the place. And this is my reason. Well, and I said that to say you'll understand why I'm going to take them in the next little venture. But Deebo Sanders went down. To my understanding, now he hurt his shoulder. Right now, they're saying he's about 50-50 whether he go actually play or not. Still got a lot of pain in his shoulder. But when he went down, they team they don't look the same without Deebo somewhat, but they still were able to manage themselves and get through and make a game of it and end up coming away with the victory. But my man Purdy, I think my man Cam Newton out there, he was pointing out the difference between the game managers and the game makers or whatever, as far as quarterbacks. And Purdy is one of the quarterbacks along with Dak, and I forget some others that he called just game managers, And I'll be honest with you, I don't understand what Cam is. What's the big deal with this? But I mean, that's not really too hard to figure out who your game managers are and who those exceptional quarterbacks and different things like that. But Purdy, well, I agree with them. I think Purdy's a game manager. He runs the script pretty well for what Kyle Shanahan wants. But yesterday he was looking kind of rough, and that's probably the reason. Well, not yesterday, but the day before, he was looking kind of rough, and I'm sure that's most of the reason why he's been catching a lot of flack about I told you so. He just the game manager, and he had a lot of passes that was off. I said anywhere from like 6 to 10 balls that should have easily been intercepted. Can't figure out why. But nonetheless, they came away with the victory. But the odd part about it, some crazy, you got the conspiracy theorists out there and different things like that. But you got what's his name? They already got Baltimore, and they predicted the projection is Baltimore and the 49ers in the Super Bowl. So fast forward, this is what we're looking at. And then, the end of the game, Green Bay got a chance to come down, make a little noise, do a few things. And like I said before, the week before, my man Jordan Love had handled all the pressure, even during the 49ers game. Guys, calm, cool, collected, looked like he handled the pressure well. But for some odd reason, he went scrambling to his right, throwing off his back leg, throwing off his back foot, and throwing across the field. That's like a quarterback no. What's up, Mike? What you say there? Oh, yeah. Man, you know what? The Bills. I like Josh Allen. I know when he first came out, he was a little rough around the edges, and a lot of people doubted him. I took a good look at him, and I thought he was going to be all right. He turned all right, like I expected. But I labeled him. What I label him now, how I labeled him. This is what he is to me. I think he's the modern day version of Brett Favre, and I'm sure you're familiar with that. Brett Favre, gunslinger, known gunslinger. Everybody loved him. But he'd throw you in, throw you out. He'd throw you out just as quick as he throw you in. And Josh Allen kind of reminds me of that particular person. I don't know why a lot of folks put all the onus on him on this particular game, especially. I mean, it was some like any other player or any other quarterback. It was probably some plays that he could have made or should have made that he didn't. He missed. I know that last drive it was a pass. I forget the receiver's name that he missed coming in the middle of the end zone. There, pass came a little wide and short. But I don't put that on him. I thought he played well. You know, he's a very exciting, dynamic player. I mean, a physical specimen, big boy, big arm, got some legs, got some wheels. So I think they're gonna be all right moving forward with him. I don't foresee that being a problem in the future. I think they just, need to tweak a couple things. And it's no different than probably you say Dak and the Cowboys. And the same thing. You expecting them to do more, be somewhere, and they fell a little short this time. I think probably more on Dak though. On the Cowboys side, I think he had a CD Lamb vision, can't see nobody else, and I think that was their downfall. But I think the Bills go be all right. But I still got my F the Bulls, F the Bills. I'm gonna get to that in a minute because it's a heavy thing. But like I said, Jordan threw across his body, across the field. That's a quarterback professional no on any level, and he ended up throwing an interception. So that got the conspiracy theorists out there running because up until that point, man, all his decision making had been excellent. But we'll see how that turns out. Then Sunday you had the Buccaneers and the Lions, and we go ahead and get this out the way, and it's gonna sound like some Lion hate. It was a good victory for them, but here's my but. I honestly feel like the ride, the rides go end in San Francisco. I've said this before, born and raised in Detroit on a corner tuxedo and web. I got off the Lions bandwagon at probably late 70s, early 80s, probably more like the early 80s, a little bit after Billy Sims had left, was gone when his career was over. And that was because of just a lot of, mainly a lot of business decisions, unhappy way they drafted and traded and how they treated their players as far as paying them and different things like that. And, but I'm no fan, and we keep it 100 here. So just to let you know, they went on a nice little run. I'm looking at them, and I'm going to say this, and I'll say this time and time again. I watched their drafts. I watch the players that they bring in, and now still, even though I don't, I'm not a fan of the Detroit Lions, even though I'm born and raised here, but I watch and see what they do because they have been on the schneid for quite a while. They had the curse with Bobby Lane and the curse thing going on, 50-year curse, and all that stuff seemed like it was true or whatever. But they played their way into the championship game this year. I think they played the championship game in '91 too, but nonetheless, was it just before the championship game? But I'll just put it like this: offensively, they can play with the best of them, and this is even out to my fickle Detroit Lions stat Padford. Who y'all don't know who y'all love, why y'all like them. They can be here to play, and then they can play for the Toronto Argonauts. If they was a former Lion, you'll celebrate them. Defensively, let me finish that. Jared Goff, we need another quarterback. He have a bad game, and all of a sudden he the problem. But Jared's been to the Super Bowl before. He took the Rams to the Super Bowl prior to Stafford going to the Rams to Super Bowl, and it wasn't his fault Jared's fault when they lost. I felt that Mike McVie had got out coached. He was a little bit doing too much gadget stuff on his first Super Bowl appearance. Okay, so fast forward, they flip-flop players, and I was telling everybody, I'm like, man, the Lions got the best of that deal. Stafford 12 years in, beat up a little bit. You got a younger guy, he pretty much almost like the same type of quarterback. You got a younger version for it, pretty much. But like I said, Jared Goff has already been there. Jared has played solid, man. I like Jared Goff. I think he's going to be all right for them in the future. They still got that young man they did draft from Tennessee, Hooker, that's waiting in the wings. We'll see how that play out. I'm not sure where they're going with that. But Jared Goff has been solid. If it wasn't for Goff, they wouldn't be where they at right now today. So, but here's the problem, though. If you go and check, most of the Lions this season, phenomenal record this year, 12-5. But they got a lot of shootouts, man. lot of shootouts, and this is not the movie. So you see, what was that one of the greatest movie scenes I've ever seen? A good shootout scene. What was that Heat? Heat. I think it was Heat. Heat with Robert De Niro and what's his name? Al Pacino. Good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy, or whatever. And they had that phenomenal shooting scene when they was running, in the middle of the square, after like they was in Times Square running across. There was a great shooting scene. Thing went on for about 40 minutes. And that seems like with Detroit. Detroit finds themselves in shootouts constantly, right? So, excuse me 1 second here. We gotta, get right. You know what I'm saying? They find themselves in shootouts constantly finding themselves in shootouts, and I don't understand. And this is a problem for me. Naturally, the fans here, they're excited. Everybody's just up in the row, but we know fan here. We know fan. We're just keeping it a buck. There's no hate. It's just what it is. I was upset, and like I said earlier, I followed it. I do watch and see what they do, and so I was kind of upset with them when they passed over my man Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. They, overlooked him, traded down, went back, got my man Gibbs, and everybody they picked up pretty much have been solid, been great performance for them. Didn't have any problems with that, but I still felt that they could have got Jalen Carter and still got all the other guys that they picked up behind him, or instead of getting him. Okay, and it's the defense, man. It's the defense that's gonna keep them from going to that next stage, I think, in the Super Bowl. And that's not to say that they don't have a chance. I mean, everybody's got a chance. They say even the sunshine on the dogs behind you, every now and then. But I just don't see them beating the Niners. And that's even without Deebo Sanders. I just don't see them beating. And one of the reasons why, because like I said earlier, 49ers got weapons all over. It's not just Deebo. Even though when Deebo out, throw Purdy off a little bit, but they got a new, forget the other young man's name. I can't pronounce his name, but the other wide receivers, McCarthy's playing great. Kittle, the tight end. They got a lot of weapons, and I bring it up to say that when you're looking at the Lions, and you can go on social media and just take a look at it, man. You got a lot of people. First thing come out their mouth, man. They got Sutton over there on the corner, man. Is he like toast. He's getting beat for a touchdown every game. Every game he's giving up one, at least one. So with the Niners, and they they got a lot of weapons over there. So I don't see them stopping them. I think the Lions linebacker is a little slow for me. They don't get to the ball, and right now, schematically, it's almost like Hutchinson or nothing. And it takes a lot for Aaron Glenn to create some type of defensive schemes for them to get to the quarterback, get to the ball, and everything like that. And I just don't see them out shooting the 49ers. And this is what they've been doing all year, been playing shootout. So I said this before, I'm gonna say it again. I watch them when they draft. I'm looking forward to the draft coming up, even just for my own little fan team or whatever who I rock with. But I want to see, what they do on defense. Pick up defensive players, defense, and let your defense get caught up with your offense. Right now, their offense is up here and their defense is down there. So I just don't see them making their way, over the 49ers in the championship game. Because you in a shootout with the Bucks. As I got a good friend of mine, shout out my man Khalif. What's up, bro? Partner in crime here and No Fam Sport podcast as well, but he's a Buccaneer fan, and like he said, they was playing with house money, man, and they almost came away with it. Baker ended up throwing an interception, but and my man Barnes, 55, Barnes is a young man. I think he a 4-year starter out of Purdue. He's been pretty stellar for Detroit. I think I called his name out before in a game or two ago. I'm really liking what he was doing, but he came away with a game winning pick. And that was a shootout, a shootout with Tampa Bay. And nobody was really expecting Tampa to be even in the thick of things. Like my man said, they was in there playing with house money. So you see how that turned out. And finally, then you had your Chiefs-Bills game. And I did pick the Chiefs, even though they were playing in Buffalo territory. Got wide right again with Buffalo and their kicker. But, here's the thing. And I just got through talking with someone about Josh Allen. think he played a masterful game. Like I said, and like most win or lose quarterbacks, it's a play here or there you wish you can have back, could have did it a different way and all these different things. But he was out there, he performed, and he looked pretty good. Like, as always, he's been Josh. Like I say, I think he's the modern day version of Brett Favre. As far as the gunslinger mentality and different things, even though he has more tools than Brett, but I think they probably arm wise, they're probably about the same. You got big arms down there. But you can't, as long as Patrick Mahomes is playing quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, as long as he's healthy, he's still breathing, he got air in his lungs, and he's still breathing, you can't count them out. I don't care where they play. I don't care what their record look like. Matter of fact, Detroit beat them first game of the year. Makes no difference. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's proven without a doubt. And here again, he got this Kansas City team vying for another trip to the Super Bowl. And they end up coming away with the victory in Buffalo. I'm sure it was a lot of broken hearts there. But I wasn't heartbroken. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. And before I even go into that, going into next week, I'm going to give you my little predictions for this one. Not no scores, but I got the 49ers over the Lions, and I got the Ravens over the Chiefs. And I think that game is going to be exciting. That's going to be one. It started at 3:00. What is that, Sunday? I think it is. Yeah, the AFC Championship game was on the 28th. Yeah, Sunday. Both games are Sunday, but that game is at 3:00. You need to be there. I think that's going to be an exciting game. But I got the Ravens over the 49ers, so I see the Ravens and 49ers in the Super Bowl, and my prediction right now is just Ravens. We're going to go ahead and go away with that. I like that. All right. But now, hey, when you get a chance, hit the like button. Go over to my YouTube channel over there, No Fan TV 20. At No Fan TV 20, hit the like button, subscribe, and the notification button so you know when we going live. Right now we're viewing this I think on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. But when you get a chance, get over there to the YouTube channel and hit the like and subscribe button and everything like that. Going to the close of session of my show, man, and we like to call this we always stay on code no matter what, and we most definitely keep it a buck. Okay. And if you read the title, pretty much it was my Willie D voice. Willie D had an interview with my man Cat Williams. Cat told everybody he was the worst interviewer ever, and I guess Willie's feelings got a little hurt or whatever, and people was ragging on him. So he did, a little take. He was like, F your mama, F you, I hope your daddy got cancer, F so-and-so. And that's where I'm at right now with Buffalo. And I'm going to tell you why. This is a true story. So, me and one of my day ones, man, we used to go around, and he still, gets a chance to get out and do it. I haven't been able to join him as much as of recent years, but we would get out and go various stadium hopping, watching football games. Didn't necessarily have to be at one of our favorites, but just going, checking out the game. It was just the love of football game. And this particular weekend, we had some nice seats, and appreciate you, Kurt. Appreciate you. Yeah, I love it too. But we had some nice seats over in it was a game that was played at then it was Ralph Wilson Stadium. He was the owner of the Buffalo Bills, and we flew out, got over there, and went to the game. It was Buffalo against the Tennessee Titans. This Steve McNair was quarterback at this time, so you know how long ago that was. May he rest in peace. And we had some nice seats. We was at the in the end zone, lower bowl, right there in the middle. I mean, just sitting right there, man. With some beautiful seats, beautiful weather. It was a nice day, good day for football. So everything started out well, man. Everything started out well. It was looking pretty good. No big thing going on. You had a lot of little skirmishes going on. didn't know at the time that they called this thing this Bills Mafia thing, and the NFL and a lot of people just seen Jason Kelsey carrying on with them, the Bills Mafia people outside the, and the NFL and a lot of people put it like a little, like they kind of put a little disguise, like a little, it's like a sheep in wolf's clothing, a wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what I'm saying? And they make this like this some big, great event. Everybody just out having fun in different things. But I feel differently about it. And this is one of the things that the NFL, they don't get on. And this happens at a lot of stadiums from what I'm understanding too. But I've never seen it happen here. But like I said, crowd getting kind of rough, man, getting kind of late. And I think in most stadiums, they cut the drinking off. If third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, you can't, get any more alcohol. But before the third quarter even happened, man, cats was just getting real wild. They were, kind of feisty and inebriated and drunk and different things. So this one gentleman that was sitting next to my partner, he was kept leaning on him, trying, he was really drunk and just kept messing with him. So my man, he get kind of agitated. I calmed him down because I'm like, dude, we can't get into no fight up here. We in the middle of Buffalo, in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? We here by ourselves, and these cats just getting wild. So I kind of diffused that a little bit, but things is just constantly going on. So like I said earlier, it was a beautiful day, clear skies, everything, decent temperature. But during the course of the game, man, I kept on I'm bald headed. I have no hair on my head. Been bald since about age of 29. But anyway, I kept, I was feeling these these little drops, like raindrops. So every now and then, I'm looking up. I look up in the sky. I'm like, damn, what is this? What's going on, man? I'm like, what's going on? This, ain't no rain. But I keep feeling these drops every now and then. So like I said, as the game go on, we standing there, crowd getting kind of excited. We stand up, plays getting kind of, you see how they carry on. They throwing snowballs at teams while they in the field. It's just terrible. Man, listen here. When we arrived in Buffalo, the people at the airport was rude. These are some of the most rudest people I've ever come across in my entire life. Buffalonians. Yes, I'm talking about you all. And I got a good friend that's from Buffalo, and I couldn't imagine he was from there, but just rude. As soon as we got in the airport, rude, people rude, just wow. So during the course of the game, like I said, they had cut the alcohol off, but all of a sudden I'm standing in up under my seat is just wet. I'm in like a puddle, like a water or whatever. I don't know what's going on. So every now and then the cats behind me like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I spilled my beer. Did it get on you? I was like, no, I'm good. But I'm standing in a puddle, like I'm thinking it's beer. So while we standing there, everybody stood up and played, and it was a big play that went on. And I just so happened this time, I just decided to turn around. Now, mind you, I didn't calm my buddy down, from scrapping with this cat that, that's sitting next to it is just getting totally out of hand. Matter of fact, if we'd have been round the way, he'd have caught two-piece real quick. It was just that he was just totally out of line. Okay. But I'm trying to be diplomatic about this, and I don't want no trouble, trying to keep us out of trouble, trying to get back home. I turns around, look behind me, slightly to my right, and it's just one guy, this fan. He's standing up, got his penis in his hand, bent, tilted, and holding the cup at the same time. Dude is pissing in a cup right behind this young lady. The crowd jumps up, then all of a sudden they sat down and he panicked. He fumbles the cup, spills the piss all on the lady in front of him, purse, all in her bag. And then it dawned on me. I was standing in a puddle of piss. These cats had been pissing. They didn't go to the bathroom. These cats were standing there pissing in cups out in the open instead of going to the bathroom. So all those little things I'm feeling like thinking it's raining, this guy is actually pissing on my head. Now, even before I did this, halftime came. When you should go to the bathroom is crowded. Not only is it crowded, this was the part that really, really took me over the edge. I just couldn't take it no more. We went to the bathroom to go use the bathroom halftime. And when I tell you the bathroom was crowded, but this was the kicker. These cats, we in Buffalo, Ralph Wilson Stadium. It's a true story. We in the bathroom. You go to the bathroom, use the bathroom, trying to use the bathroom. All the urinals is taken, all the stalls is taken, and these son of a bitches are pissing in the water, the little water station where you wash your hands. They standing around the water trough where you wash your hands, and everybody just pissing in there. And this was in all the bathrooms. They fucking boop, boop, just told. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. You couldn't even wash your hands. They pissing in the sinks. They pissing in the sinks. We in Buffalo. So, like I said, I get back at this time, before, like I told you, I didn't realize I've been standing and pissed, and the guy still clowning over there. Now I'm ready to go. His hands got to fly at this particular time. So I'm still trying to keep calm. I go get security. So in the midst of security, because we're trying to get this thing, trying to do this right. In the midst of bringing security over to help, with our situation, they venture away from me because it was fights. Jason, go sit down. Go sit down. It's fights and mass hysteria going on all through the whole stadium. It's fights going on everywhere. So it's security just all over the place, breaking things up. So when I tell you, Buffalo, Bills Mafia, the people in Buffalo, the state, and this was the kid. So when we get back home after, we try to calm down. Every time I tell the story, after I finish this, I'm gonna have to go jump in the shower because I just feel a certain way every time I tell the story. When I get back home, ironically, my mother, may she rest in peace, Carrie. My mother was she worked for the state of Michigan. She was an auditor, and ironically, like I said, Ralph Wilson used to own the team. He resided here in Michigan in Grosse Pointe. She used to do his books. So I had told her about what was going on. So she, voiced, my displeasure, with him when, she go, like I said, she was doing his, she was doing audits on, she working his books. And she went at, told him about the situation. And, he offered to give me and my boy some free tickets to another game and, Compass and all this kind of stuff. But, at that particular point, I just didn't care. I didn't even care anymore. That had want nothing to do with it. And that particular one outing in Buffalo has forever left a stain in my heart and my mind. Never go back. So that Bills Mafia crap that they show on the outside, that they, quote unquote, flash all the, make it look like everybody just out having fun. Some ignorant sons of bitches. Just period. It's disgusting what goes on there. They need to do something about it, but I get it. NFL, them fans, they pay for, they pay the salaries and they pay to come out there and see that. But you don't have to ever worry about me being in Buffalo ever again for no reason. Never want to be there. And yeah, I know if this went viral or something, oh, you from Detroit? Yeah, I'm from Detroit, but I ain't never seen nothing like that before. I mean, pissing in all urinals, man. It wasn't just the urinals; they pissing in the sinks. This is a halftime. Piss everywhere. Cups. It got cups up under my seat, man. They full of piss, and they've been knocking them over and spilling the whole time. I'm sitting there trying to enjoy the game. Me and my boy, they've been pissing on us. And like I said, the one guy behind me, he done pissed in the cup. He done fumbled, then got nervous and fumbled. And the whole cup of piss just pours down into this lady that was sitting next to her purse. And it was just, oh my goodness, man. It was like the worst event ever. Like I said, y'all can have Buffalo. Y'all can have the Buffalo Bills, F Bills Mafia, F the Bills, F the fans in Buffalo, F the people in Buffalo. It's just a rude fucking place, period. Excuse my French. No need for me to ever go there ever again. I've forever been stained by the Buffalo Bills, they fans, and that Bills Mafia crap. So the NFL, all the camera people for all these NFL, ESPNs, and all these networks, they go out there and watch these fools out there in tailgating, the pre-tailgating the things, and the obnoxious crowd. Like I said, he's throwing snowballs at the players on the field. It's just some rude people in Buffalo. Man, I appreciate y'all stopping by. Like I said, I got the Ravens over the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Get a chance, go over to No Fan TV at NoFan TV 2020. Hit the like, subscribe button, and notification button so you know when we doing some live podcasts over here. And they had that thing going on over there, like, whoa, Buffalo. Whoa, yeah, it was whoa, Buffalo. Y'all can have Buffalo. Don't want to be there. I'm glad they lost. I hope they never go back to a Super Bowl. And they need to get their behavior together. F the Buffalo Mafia, Bills Mafia, all that crap. You know what I'm saying? Them some nasty folks up there. Okay. I'm your host, man. I go by New. Appreciate you stopping by. We go get it going. This is kind of bittersweet, man. We only got two weekends left, man. We got the conference championship round, and then it'll be the Super Bowl, man. Then we'll be off for the off season for the NFL. But I understand the USFL and the XFL has united, and we get a little spring football. Maybe check that out. Do a little commentary on that as well. But like I said again, I go by New. Appreciate you stopping by. I get at y'all later. Peace. Oh my goodness. You know about it, huh? Worst place I've ever been. I don't care. Worse. When people are terrible. I appreciate you all, man. Get at you.